red UMA logo starts flashing, press stop and trash at the same time. The logo should flash blue-red. No, it's getting better. Blue-red. Hold the keys until the UMA logo turns solid red. 5, the box should then factory reset and reboot. All right, so that's just the base. Okay, now we got to deal with the handset. First, turn off the handset by holding the red button. Then after the handset is off, press the 0 and left soft key at the same time, and while doing that, press and release the red button and keep holding the 0 and left soft key until the screen says auto register. And then you can let go. By that time, I had let go. Am I missing something here? I mean, you know, this is picking up a gadget and installing it. Frankly, whether you're 13 or 90, it shouldn't be a challenge. And the people in this industry, you know, who came up with the push any key, remember that? Remember they used to get calls at tech support going, I can't find the any key on my keyboard? Well, you know, we're still out here. There are some great gadgets on the market, and I'm really happy that besides our panelists, we've got a couple of guys in the audience who helped invent some of these. I've got George from TV Ears. Stand up, George. Where are you? He left. He was insulted. TV Ears is this nice television set that has an incredibly... which has this incredibly simple remote control. It's like forward, back, up, down, and if you fall asleep in front of the TV, after 3 hours it shuts off. I don't know that anybody here would fall asleep in front of a TV. One of the other brand new devices, which I'm thrilled about because I'm visually challenged, my Kindle, frankly, has been enabling technology for me because it's allowed me to go back to reading without sitting on the train reading using a magnifying glass every day, is the new Intel Reader. How many of you guys have heard about the Intel Reader? We have the designer here, Ben Fellow. Ben, say hello.
Hi, guys. I'll stick around.
Anyway. The Intel Reader is 2 units. This is the copy stand, which you don't need to have, but it makes life easier. This is the reader itself, which comes with a camera, so it'll scan your documents and process them and read them back to you. I should let Ben come up at some point and demo this a little bit better than I can.
Turned on.
His turned on, which is
large font. You can see it calling in the back of the room. It says library, and it reads out loud as you go through it. So recent items, shoot mode, settings, and help. And when you hit the bottom of the menu, you run into a wall. If you're blind and you're not watching it, that tells you to go back the other direction. So it's a user-tested prototype for 400 people who have spent time using it in the field. That's how we improved it, because it started out as a piece of plastic right here. This is about $3.99, and that's $3.99 worth of PVC. That was what we put in people's hands to see how they reacted, and we learned bigger buttons, bigger screen, move the camera, get that out of their way, put this in their way. That's how you learn. You try and build, and everything's a prototype except my marriage. So.
Now, I have to confess, Susan mentioned that I have my bachelor's from Cornell. My college roommate grew up to become Intel's chief technology officer. So I have a vested interest in making sure that he stays happy, so I get invitations to his indoor pool. What does the 55-plus market want? Well, they want the latest and the greatest Even as they age, that's what they still want. They want manufacturers to recognize that they are developing limitations based on eyesight, hearing, physical dexterity and strength, and sometimes memory. How many of you guys have walked into a room and forgotten why you'd walked into the room? Yeah. Try doing that in television a little while. Who's in this market anyway? Well, you've got baby boomers who are ages 46 to 64. That's what the Census Bureau defines as the baby boom generation. There are expected to be 81 million of us in the U.S. this year, and that's expected to go up to 84 million by 2020. And the 65 plus category, we've got 40 million today, and by 2020, that's a whopping 55 million. So if you're in the business of making gadgets, there are a lot of people out there who are in this age group that you might want to get to. They have a lot of money. The mean family income of baby boomers was $85,000 last year. This is not quite accurate, it's among the highest after-tax incomes of any demographic. You see what the 25 to 34s have, the 35 to 44s have, and then you see how that keeps going up and then slows down a little bit as we enter retirement years. But at the same time, theoretically, by that time, the kids are off to college or out of college. And if you're lucky, they haven't come back to live with you again. If you're lucky. I'm not so lucky. What do boomers want? They're savvy consumers who expect technology to be safe, easy to use, and flexible enough to adapt to their individual needs. I didn't make that up. That was from Rob Sinclair, Director of Accessibility for Microsoft, in a recent Microsoft and AARP study. When new technology products enter the market, products that are well-designed and can help create the life baby boomers want, they are enthusiastic early adapters who help lead the way. You think that's still true? I certainly do. I see it out there, and I get to play with. On our Tech Tuesday piece, we look at about 250, 300 different gadgets during the course of the year, and some of them I go, you know what, that is so cool, I'm going to go out and buy it, and sometimes it comes out and bites me in the guess where, but, I love to look at the new stuff and play with it, and a lot of my friends are in that same boat. So my contention is that we really have two markets here. The baby boomers who still want the latest and greatest, and they want the mainstream devices, like this Google phone, just to be accessible to them. It's really frustrating when you see all of this news coverage on a great new device, and you go, hey, I want one of those. You get it in your hand and you go, I can't use this. The 65 pluses often are not as technologically savvy as the baby boomers. We've got the MYGAIT computer here. And MYGAIT is sort of, one of these products that is for folks who really did not grow up being technologically savvy, but know that there's some really interesting stuff out there on the internet. It will help them communicate with the rest of their family, let the rest of their family sort of keep track of their care and so on. But, they don't, at this stage in their lives, they don't want to be challenged. They don't want to go out and prove that they can handle a piece of technology. That's not what it's about. So now we get to what we're all about today, which is elements of design, products that we've already mentioned, like the Kindle.